Hi everyone, I'm Troy again. I've got the whiteboard out. Let's talk about gains. So let's face it, the main reason most people work out is because they want to get laid, right? The reason I started going to the gym was because when I was younger, I was in my teens, I was watching WWE and I wanted to be like Hulk Hogan. Brother! Actually, I wanted to be more like the Legion of Doom, but my shoulder pads weren't big enough. Anyway, if you want to get bigger, you need to get stronger and you need to understand the differences in training style to achieve that. When it comes to training, you need to understand reps, sets, frequency and intensity. They're the key factors for a consistent progressive training program. Reps, sets and frequency come under volume. Intensity basically is your weight, the weight that you're lifting. This is the general consensus. This is currently what is tried and tested and what most governing bodies will go with. There are schools of thought, always new ways of thinking and new hypotheses coming out. This is the current stuff as I understand it, and this is the stuff that mostly works for most people. If you want to get stronger, if you're training for strength, you need to be working in the 1 to 6 rep ranges at least 85% of your 1RM. It's likely to be slightly lighter in the early part of the training cycle, and it's going to get heavier, so your reps will go down and your weight will go up as you work your way through that training cycle. That's usually how it works. As a general rule, for strength, you're looking at a total of around 25 repetitions. That's total volume for that set, for that exercise. So if you're doing deadlifts, let's say for instance you're doing 5 sets of 5 deadlift at around 80% of your 1RM, that's a total of 25 reps. That's fine. That's the kind of range you want to be working in. As I say, that's going to change depending on your goal and depending on your training age, but that's there or thereabouts for most people. Now for hypertrophy is obviously muscle growth, getting bigger muscles. It's a little bit more complicated. You're looking for different adaptations for hypertrophy to what you are for strength. Yes, you need a bit of both, but the adaptations are slightly different. So you're working at lighter weight, so usually around 65 to 75% of your 1RM. So 6 to 12 reps, 65 to 75% of your 1RM. A total of 40 to 70 reps per muscle group. Okay, so that's a lot more volume than if you're training for strength. And the reason being that these are lighter weights, so it's less taxing on your central nervous system than the strength training where you're 85, 90, 95% of your one rep max. Is a lot more taxing on your central nervous system, takes a lot longer to recover. So a total of 40 to 70 reps per muscle group, 2 to 3 times per week. So when it comes to this volume and this frequency, when you're looking for hypertrophy, look at it over the week. Okay, so total volume over the week is what really matters. 40 to 70 reps per muscle group, 2 to 3 times per week. That's a total of 80 to 210 reps per week per muscle group. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But let's break it down a little bit. So a standard recommendation for building muscle for your average kind of intermediate exerciser is something like 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps, around 70% of your 1RM, or a 10 or 12 rep max, twice a week. 4 sets of 10, that's 40 reps, twice a week, 80 reps, so you're at that lower end of that total volume range, and that's absolutely spot on if that's what you want to be doing to build muscle. Remember, frequency is important, so you've got to be doing this consistently. You can't fade in and out of it. You can combine the two. Usually you would have a strength phase and then a hypertrophy phase, but of course if you're training solely for strength, you can combine some of these more hypertrophy intensities into your accessory work, because of course, you know, muscular endurance and muscle size is important if you want to be strong, but conversely, if you want your muscles to grow, you don't just work on the volume, you have to work on your strength as well. So you kind of, you know, there is always a little bit of a crossover. Okay, so that is a really simple introduction to the difference between strength and hypertrophy and the kind of rep ranges, sets, total volume that you need to be aiming for in order to get your gains and get those 22-inch pythons, brother. Alright, so I hope that was useful for you. I've been Troy, this is TM Fitness, this is my whiteboard. Click like, click share. If you've got any comments, put it down below, and I'll catch you again soon. Laters. It may be lighter lower down.